All right, thank you so much for staying with the program. Welcome back. You're watching Morning Cafe. This morning, as you can see behind me, we are in a different location. We are at the Dorcas Rigathi Foundation. You know what you're about to talk about. This morning, we want to talk about the role of the girl child. Last time we were here, we were talking about the role of the boy child, and we shift gears now into matters of the girl child. And with me on set, of course, we have a live audience. Let me start with the audience today. We have a live audience to help us with this conversation. And of course, none other than Her Excellency Pastor Dorcas Rigathi, and of course, our counselor here, Richard Ziwa Zimbalist, to help us understand how the empowerment of the girl child is doing, the initiatives that have been put in place to empower the girl child. How are we doing as of 2025? Karibu sana to the show. Once again, this is Morning Cafe. You're welcome, Your Excellency. And I want us to start right into this particular discussion. Right, the last time we were here, we were talking about the role of the boy child and the empowerment initiatives. How would you rate the state of the girl child empowerment?
Well, I would say you can never have enough of empowering a person, but if I rate the girl child empowerment, we can put it above average, around 75%. Because for the time, from the time that we realized we had left the girl child behind, we re-emphasized with the affirmative action and all that. And for today, you'll find even those who are in the raw cadres and the attitude, the mindset of a girl is very different. The confidence that they project out there is just simply very good. But I still feel there are areas that we can be able to moderate so that the girl child can start to reflect maturity.
What are these gaps that you are seeing in terms of just empowering the girl child? If you're talking about 75%, then we have 25% remaining. Then what are these gaps?
The gap is a wiring towards maybe the family values, and where we are talking about the men and their counterparts, the men, and especially their peers, the attitude and the mindset towards money and life in general. I think that is a place that we would need to address so that the girl child can now be 100% and she can start enjoying full destiny and full grown dreams. Yes.
And right there, here we'll be hearing from them in regards to the challenges that they feel the girl child is facing in 2025. Richard, as of 2025, Her Excellency has given us a 75%. How would you rate the status of girl child empowerment?
They're doing extremely well, in contrast to the young men. If you get any age quadrant today and you take them to an opportunity to seek employment, oftentimes you'll take note that they'll take the girl child and the boy child. If you look at the landscape of employers in, let's say, East Africa, you'll be amazed that the biggest number of people who are in the high-profile organization to date, they're women, the girl child. They're doing incredibly well. But the trouble is that we need a lot more. You can't say that there's no room at the top. There's still room at the top. But me, I would say we need the balance of the two. We need the young men to be grafted in the same spaces where they're flourishing.
All right. So would you say that these girl child empowerment initiatives have been done so much to an extent that it is overpowering, the initiatives to empower the boy child as well?
When you go back to where life happens in a home, and you hear women who are empowered say, I don't need a man, that is worrying. The family needs both genders in that experience. And I think they've had an opportunity to succeed tremendously in their careers and the spaces where they go to steward their unique crafts and abilities. But when they return home, there's a significant absence, and that gap needs to be balanced out. you can't say that you don't need men. As much as these women are succeeding, you still need a man in your life. And if you're going to raise a family, it won't take you long, but you can't raise a family alone. You need help.
All right.
Yeah.
And Your Excellency, when a councillor is talking about the mindset, the way it has shifted in 2025, you know, we are hearing a lot of conversations, the girl child, we're talking about an independent woman. I do not need a man. A lot of women right now want to be child-free, and you know, some don't want to even have men in their homes. From where you sit during your generation, what do you think has contributed to this mindset shift? Right now, the women are okay being without the men.
Yeah, I think culturally the woman had her place and the man had her place, and the roles were made in a way that they would work together. In the modern world, the more emphasis when we took the girl and put her on the affirmative action, and all the funding was going to make sure that the girl is well taken care of in terms of education, in terms of health care, in terms of the laws that were and registration that was there, so that it could protect her from the aggression, from gender-based violence. Then there were quite a number of issues that actually could back the decision to have an affirmative action for the child, for the girl child. And then the Beijing conference and all this, where the woman is being told what the man can do, she can do better. And of course, when you go to the court of law, you find that even where there is an issue where it is concerned the boy and the girl, and the girl maybe was the aggressor, the boy becomes the victim. And with all these registrations and biases and stereotype kind of thing, you find that the girl bar was raised and she has climbed very, very high. The other thing that you find is that over time, in the infrastructure of office and government, the women have been growing slowly into position. So you find now the CEO and managerial senior levels, women now by experience, others by education. Now they have invaded the space that where men used to occupy. And that is generating a mentality that is telling them that you can do without a man. But unfortunately, I always find, like the other day, there was a man, a preacher man, who wanted to pray for husbands. Did you see the scramble that was there? 10,000 women almost died trying to get into the space where they could get husbands. And of course, on the other balance, on the other scale, is a man now left behind who cannot be able to answer to the question of a girl child, of having a husband, of having a leader, and having a responsible husband. And therefore, you find all these decisions and all these questions whether I'll marry or I'll not marry is actually being influenced by circumstances that are surrounding the way we have been brought up now, the breakdown of family values and all this, and then of course the affirmative action and the way we have really fought very hard to make sure that the girl space is protected. And the boy space was being, you know, kind of removing the walls from the boy child. And I think that balance ought to be returned, because you do not progress one by destroying another. What we need is to bring them together, and they should go and grow as partners, even from primary school, at the home level, at the primary school, secondary level, and even in the tertiary. You find that at the university now, they come and you find two different people. The girl is going and is saying, I don't want to get a relationship with this one. It is better I get a sugar daddy who can take me to other places, can buy me a car, but they are being misused by a man. So I don't think that saying that they don't need a man is a true statement, because they are actually saying they don't want a poor man, they want a man and they don't want a responsibility.
All right, I don't know what they will say about that. They don't want to poor men, especially now that the men are here as well. And maybe just to hear from them, what do you think is the state of girl child empowerment? And do you think we're doing enough to empower the girl child? Who wants to go first? All right, we can have the lady.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. I am Chelangat Anastasia, the Deputy Secretary General of Catholic University of Eastern Africa. Well, I'll say matters girl empowerment. There is much being done. We see campaigns all over, but I still feel we have some gaps, since we see that despite the campaigns, there are still stereotypes. Some communities still look down upon the girl child. The girl child still undergoes gender-based violence. This girl child is not given the chance, or this girl is not given the opportunity to reach her potential. So I feel these things need to be worked on, because there's no way we'll be saying we are empowering the girl child, but we don't see any fruits from the girl child. Equally, I feel in as much as we're talking about girl child empowerment, we see that there's a competition that is coming up between the girl child and the boy child. The boy child feels that the girl child being empowered is a competition, and rather this is not a competition. The two of them being empowered gives a safe space. So I feel there should be a balance. And to the councillor, what can be done to ensure that there is partnership as the girl child is being empowered, the boy child does not look like this is a competition, bringing up insecurities, and that is where we'll have issues of broken marriages or single parenthood, and we know these will affect the generation that is coming. Equally, to Her Excellency, what is the church doing to ensure that the cultural stereotypes and the habits in the culture that look down upon the girl child can be sorted? Thank you. So I'll end by saying empowering a girl child is not a one-day project, but it's a continuous commitment. Thank you.
All right, great. Because she's asked a lot of questions, and we'll just start with you, Councillor, since the first one was directed to you. The competition between the girl child and the boy child feeling that the girl child is being empowered more than they are. So how do we address that particular situation at hand?
Thank you. Anastasia, I like the university you're going to. My wife was in Catholic University. The reality is in play, and we're all viewing it. And it requires a collective responsibility. Women have placed a huge emphasis on personal growth, and you can't guilt them or blame them for it. And it's working in their favor, because the places where they go, their skills are required and they're integrated in spaces of work. It's incumbent on us to create a balance. We all struggle with balance. We all do struggle with balance. And for those who employ people, they need to look at that. For those who are placing emphasis on supporting the girl child, they need to place emphasis on supporting the boy child. And for us in our homes, where there used to be a substitute, where we used to have an emphasis on educating the boy child. But when the quadrant changed, it appears there is a greater emphasis to accelerating the growth of a girl child than it would be for the boy child. There's a need for us to create an equilibrium to support both gender, because bottom line, in life we need each other. You need the boy child to be empowered, you need the girl child to be empowered, and it's such an exciting experience. I like the way, I will use my personal experience. It's very unnerving when you support a boy child and ignore the girl child. But it's a very exciting experience when you support a girl child. I see how I support my own significant other. We had an event somewhere in Machakos, and we are tailored to meet a particular timelines in between. I was driving at 140 so that we beat the timelines. And behind the scene, I wanted to support my wife. I really, really wanted to support my wife. But will my wife drive at 140 to support me? I bet she would not. So as much as we really gear to support the women, the same power, same strength, same rigor that we put behind it, I pray that all of us can have the same courage to support the boy child in the same equivalent as we really place emphasis on the girl child. Let me quote this.
All right.
Just a brief one. I took an event to my house a short while ago where I asked men who are above 40 into their 50s to come home to break into conversation. And I decided to take 22 of them, and I also asked the young ones who are below 30. I took a quadrant of 30 young men to come and sit around a conversation. You'll be amazed what dominated the conversation. Girl child. When you put men together, you think they talk about masculine things. But it ended up being the girl child as the subject of interest. How tall is the wallet of the man, as women are asking? So you can't ignore the need to create a balance in our conversations to supporting the girl child as much as we support the boy child. They came at 1, they ended up leaving at 10. My wife asked, men don't talk. What were you talking about? Girl child. So there's a need to create a balance in that particular area. And I think you are not doing bad.
All right. And the other question that Chelangat asked was about how now as the church can come in to stop these cultural stereotypes.
Thank you, my daughter. Let me tell you that the church is busy and working very hard to make sure that these cultural stereotypes they are removed, to be able to give the girl the space to express herself and to be able to burn in her element. You know, a woman, the substance of a woman is a very hard one, and it is tough, and it's beautiful. It is one woman, you can see a woman, and she's looking so good, and when she's offended, she will be both the angel and the devil. And therefore, to be able to activate and bring around this, the church is working towards speaking to men. And I think this is why you find I am very passionate about the boy child. If the girl is going to find her place of honor and respect and to work and to progress and to succeed, men have to be placed where they can be able to see the woman in that light, that a woman is not a threat. So we are having counseling sessions, and where we are having men speaking to men, and you see as a mother, at least I'm accepted where men are speaking, I go there, because I believe gender-based violence, FGM, and all things that are affecting our girls, from rape even to premature pregnancies that are actually a problem. Teenage pregnancies by my boy children. What we need is to inculcate that respect and honor and value in a man. So when you hear me speaking all the time about the boy child, if the boy child was to be taught how to respect, to honor the dignity of the girl child, I can tell you we are going to have good marriages, we are going to have good families, we are going to have good relationships. You are not going to have all these manner of things that are going around. Because if, for instance, she wants that cultural backwardness of having FGM, we have had NGOs speak about this money poured there, but I can tell you it can stop overnight if there is a male engagement in this. Because they are the ones, the fathers, are the ones who are telling their sons, you cannot marry a girl without a cut. But if we were to engage, respect the space of men, understand the cultural background, and go to the same men, the council of men, the elders who are there. We discuss with them so that they can speak to their sons to accept that this is backward and this one affects the girls. And for the dignity of the girl, they need to marry just the way they are. They don't need the cut for them to be women. They don't need the cut for them to give birth to children. It is not the cut that makes a woman a respectable woman. And therefore, we need to engage the male gender to be able to overcome most of the places where the women are finding themselves in challenges which they are not able to surmount.
Right. And when we're talking about bringing in men as allies in ending these vices, including gender-based violence, the men really ready, Richard, to be at the center of these conversations around girl-child empowerment, just to let them know that, you know, a woman can be a leader as well, and they can still respect you, that a woman can earn more than you, and they can still respect you, just in the promotion and quest for equality and equity. Do you think the men are ready and willing to come to these tables, in as much as we want them to be allies in ending GBV, but allies in also girl-child empowerment?
I think the introspection begins with me. Am I comfortable being with someone who earns more than me? Yes. But I think the genesis of all these cultural prejudices are hinged on the way we view the world around us, our attitudes. Because attitudes color the world the way we view it. If all of us get to introspect our thoughts and navigate this cultural prejudice that has been passed on for generations and question it and be able to change what needs to be changed. Believe me, men are ready. They would be ready, but they must go back to change the way they view the world around them. Because if it is practiced in my individual family, who is propagating this thought in my individual family? Before we make it a group experience, a cultural experience of a particular ethnic group, in your individual family, you as the man, what are the conversations you're communicating? Because it colors the way the young generation that are within your care are going to view that subject. If that conversation does not come out, it is hard. I remember saying earlier in some other conversation that what women do by talking about it, for us we do by not talking about it. It is hard to assume that women know what is in our thoughts when we don't talk. So we need to get men into conversation and they talk about why do they place emphasis on that kind of subject of FGM? Why do they really want women not to earn more than they do? You need to break out in conversation about those things. And if we can get those within our context of headship, my individual family, to talk about this, we are ready for the conversation and things will shift to the greater good.
All right, let me throw that question to the audience. And anyone who is willing to, I see hands, we can have at the very, very back, the gentleman. Do you think you're ready for these conversations, to be to have a seat at tables where, you know, we are speaking about girl-child empowerment and bringing you on board and making you understand that, you know, a woman can earn more than you and you will still be good. She can lead and you can still be good. Do you think you're ready for such conversation?
I think that question is very subjective. Because analyzing it from animal instinct or the female species, the women they are hypergamous. Their mating strategy is hypergamy. They will always date up. They only date up, and it's rare for them to date down. So they want somewhere they can submit, look up to, in all that essence. Now the question is this: how do we strike this balance? Because yes, our women hold half the sky. They've been empowered, and there cannot be true social evolution without true liberation of our women. That one is true for sure. But now this is where there is a challenge, a conundrum. They have been economically empowered at the expense of their emotional well-being. Our women, in the absence of masculinity, women will tend to be masculine. What does this mean? They become cold. They have been sold the lie of being independent. And we can be, if we are honest to ourselves, our women cannot be independent, not in the material sense, in the monetary sense. They still need that emotional connection. They still want to be loved. They still want to be babied. But now, the corporate, the system has lied to our women that you can be independent. This, in the end, they want to squeeze the value out of women, and they, in the end, discard them. Our women end up distressed, and since they want to fulfill their biological needs, which is having children, will have children but not get married. What does that mean? The cycle of fatherlessness continues. So they end up raising. That is a source of dysfunctionality.
All right.
So it's very important for us to know how are we going to to create value, because a man, this for sure, a man can only, it's only women and dogs who can be loved unconditionally. A man is only loved on a condition that he can provide.
All right. Thank you so much for that particular feedback and comment. But Your Excellency, do you agree that, you know, as women, we have conditioned ourselves that, or we have been conditioned? Because I don't think every woman can sit down and say that we only date up. You know, so isn't that a box that they're putting women in? And this is something that they think women think about, but is that the case really?
I think my son is also seeing the woman from the from the eyeglass or the lens of a man. But perhaps what we need to be able to come back to balance, it is at the parenting level, where we start to inculcate that respect and honor for men. And it's changed the way we speak about women. Because if there is anything I've ever heard or anything that is failure, it is attributed to a woman. So the father will say, if the son does not do well, you are like your mother, right? So that word is received to mean that a woman is of no use, really. And then the next time they speak too much, you tell them they are like their sissy, like their sister. It's another woman image. Anytime they maybe talk too much, you gossip like a woman. So we need to change the way we are speaking, our conversation, so that we can wire our men to start to respect the woman. Because this respect, it is something that is learned, and it can be unlearned. Some of them, they are disrespecting because they saw their fathers disrespect their mother. And therefore, we need at the parenting level to inculcate the right attitudes to and the right mindset to our men. Where it comes to the woman, I don't think the woman, I can give you my example. When we met with Rigi, I never even allowed him to buy me the first dinner. I bought him.
Interesting.
And I did it deliberately because I wanted a man who would see me as an equal partner within the relationship. And also what the gauge I was putting is to see whether he'll be able to respect his distance in that area, because they think they are the only ones who can buy and all that. So I think we need to get to the conversation. We need to start to engage concerning this man and this woman, because if we don't, we are losing it. Because men see in their own perspective, and they look at the glasses of men to the women, and the women have their own glass which they are looking, and therefore we have to come and meet up at a place where now you can see me in a view that informs you that I am available, but not for abuse or misuse.
Very well said. It's okay to buy that man lunch, according to you.
Of course.
Excellency here. Let's take a very short break. You're watching Morning Cafe. We are talking about the role of the girl child. Stay with us.
No more excuses. It's time to rise, grind, and own your mornings. Join Coach Shadrach Omer every Monday to Friday from 5:30 to 6 a.m. only on TV 47. Full body workouts, zero equipment, maximum results. Start strong, stay strong. TV 47 Fitness with Coach Shadrach only on TV 47. Looking for the perfect way to kick off your weekend?
Pole. Hiyo ni salamu ya Mluya kabisa.
Tune in to Friday with Betty, the most exciting show.
All right, welcome back. Thank you so much for staying with us. You're watching Morning Cafe. This morning we are talking about the role of the girl child. And before we went on that very short break, Her Excellency was talking about we need to come to a point where women see men as equal partners. But now the question that I would want to pose to our audience now, are the men ready to live with women as equal partners, to see women as equal partners and let that respect prevail? Who will go first? Gladson, you have the microphone. Yes.
So I think it's still morning. Thank you. My name is Gladson. Gladson Obwamu. I'm a director of a small organization in the village that also works with men and women. So I think the question is timely, and what I can say is that men are not ready for that conversation. And it's not because we are not ready. It is because the setup is not accepting of us. If you go to a place whereby women are being empowered, the only problem wanaonyeshwa ni huyu ni competitor wako, huyu anakuja ku take over, huyu anakuja ku change how the systems of the world is in a work. So you find that instead of you seeing this person as a partner, because for you to become a partner, it means I bring, you bring. But now the setup in a change inakuwa, she can bring na wewe unaweza kaa. Or she can live alone without even you being there. So tunaanza ku feel like now our place and our importance in this setup haipo. Like we need something, a shift in the way we just empower our girls. And for that reason, because of time, I had a question that I wanted to ask, because I think it is just in line with what we were supposed to do. We were supposed to talk about ni ile identity and values, because I think they are so important in this. So how can we empower girls without making them lose their identity? Because their identity is very important, and one of them is them being a support system. They are supposed to be producers, not the source. Man is the source and the woman is the producer. So when a woman becomes a source, are we losing our identity as men, and are they losing the identity as women? Then the second one, the last one, ni kwamba how can we strike a balance between the two in terms of empowering to make sure that both thrive? How can we foster equity more than equality? At least wakikuja tunaona kama partners, hatuoni kama competitors. Ule ni Arsenal, mimi ni Man U, so one has to win. Yes.
All right. Thank you so much, Gladson, for that. Your Excellency, the question of identity. How do you empower women without eroding that identity of the woman as a helper, as is in the Bible? Yeah.
You know, I really thank you for your insights into this. But when you come to talking about the woman and the identity, the woman is made, when she's a daughter, she's a woman of the family who gives joy to the family, to the father, to the brothers, to the sisters. She's always serving. And she's a beauty that is engaging everyone around there. After that, she becomes a wife to someone. And this character is being shaped even from the very beginning. And therefore, her identity lies in her purpose. And if her purpose is not being pursued, and she's not being helped and encouraged to achieve it, then she becomes also bitter. She's, some of them, they just, you know, like the way we wear powder and we are looking all cool and corrected, but inside we are broken. And therefore they carry a lot of baggage. And what you are talking about is a baggage, not the purpose for the woman, but a woman who has been well taken care of. Actually, she's a calm woman. She has an environment that is very engaging for the family, for the community, because that is what she is. Because when she's a wife, she's coming now to bring in what you are talking about. She's a producer. You give her a seed, she gives you a baby. You give her a house, she gives you a home. But there must be give and take. There must be that seed for her to give you a baby. There must be that house for her to make it a home. And therefore there are complementing roles that each, the man and the woman, For her identity to remain and not to be eroded, you must be able to stand in and be able to complement her. She has dreams, as you have. So as she supports your dream, you also support her dream. And you'll find that she will make you a king. If you actually love her, and she sees you are supporting her dream. There is this narrative I see most of the times in the media. They think I'm a very good wife because I support my husband. Yes, I do. And I believe in marriage. It has worked for 38 years. And in those 38 years, I can tell you we have worked together, the man and the woman in the house. That marriage did not come up and you are seeing it, and that strength you are seeing did not come overnight. You work with tolerance, understanding one another, being able to have a conversation, shunning and removing all stereotypes. You remove limitations, you remove voices that speak into identity of the man or the woman. You stay there, and now you can see the woman now become a daughter, become a mother, and that is her ultimate. Because once she's a daughter, she's doing small things, she's still immature. When she's a wife, she's starting to progress into becoming. But when she becomes, it is when she becomes a mother. Because she nurtures everyone and everything. And now she is living her purpose. And for her now to have that identity, every man, every woman must respect the woman. Because one, there is not even a single man, good or bad, that was not born of a woman.
Right.
If a woman wants to change and transform the world, it is her voice and her love and her character that will change it.
Amazing.
If the woman wants to mess it, she will mess it big time.
All right.
With bad character and bad attitude.
Councillor, I want you to come in with that question on equity more than equality. Gladstone here thinks we should, you know, when you're talking about equality, it talks about sameness in treatment, and then equity talks about fairness and justice. And that is what he's championing for, more equity, more than equality. How do we get to that particular point?
Mom, you've done excellently.
Absolutely.
I don't even need to add to that. The reality is the lens with which we view the world around us dictates what you receive in us. If I could do a simple experiment, turn to the person next to you and say something in 30 seconds. Mom, you look excellent.
Oh, so do you. You look very well.
30 seconds is up.
30 seconds, if it is more, you're still talking, you did not use the 30 seconds. You can't give what is not in you. If you want equity, there's a law of reciprocity. If you're asking for something you're not giving, it can't be reciprocated back to you, isn't it? So if you're going to ask for the same on the other gender, are you giving it? If you're not, don't ask for it. There's work on you to do.
And that includes respect.
And that includes respect.
Amazing.
You see, in respect, I'm glad you mentioned that. I taught my children that I do not reward people who have no respect for me. Whether children, relationships, relative close, near and far off, I do not reward it. Question is, what do you want to be given to you? If you do not give it, don't expect it back.
All right, let's throw it back to the audience, and we have a lady here. Yes.
Thank you. My name is Ruth Kemunto. I'm a mental health advocate. I'm also an etiquette researcher and also a law student. We have really talked about the girl empowerment, but I like to shift the seesaw. Why not view that women are the enemies of themselves? That they are the ones who brought feminism, and this feminism has become so toxic to the point the women themselves are becoming masculine. They are going out there, they are getting big jobs, they're getting big salaries, and to the point now they do not respect their men. And I feel like society has accepted it, and it has made it a norm for women to say, I'm making my money, this man is poor. And yet that feminism is the one that has brought about the problem of unemployment. and it has also made women to forget their role, which is to submit to the men. And I think that we can instead incorporate the idea of women, some women out here wanting to become soft women. They want to be stay-at-home moms. I feel like society has made it to not to be a good thing in the name of that man will abuse you, but personally I like to be a stay-at-home mom and depend on a man, because I love to be led and I love to be told what to do.
Nowadays you say I'm just a girl, right? But Your Excellency, do you think feminism is really the issue? Because if you're looking at key principles and goals of feminism, and we do have the men who are feminists as well, and it talks about equality, dismantling oppression, human rights, and of course inclusivity as well. So in this case, is feminism really the issue that it's eroding the identity of women and also just that respect that women should have for the men? Is it the issue?
In fact, needless to say that your feminine nature, or that beauty God gave you as a woman, is actually your strength. It should be able to project itself in areas of respect and areas of honor to everyone. As a natural, because that is what we are, female gender, it is meant to be birthing the right things. It is supposed to have the right attitude. It's supposed to be giving out life. And therefore, I do not even imagine that because you have a big salary, that would be an issue, or it would cause the other gender not to be employed. What is here is that money is not everything. And money does not change your attitude. Your decisions make it. You decide to disrespect someone. Money does not push you to there. And therefore, I think as we are going up in status, as we are becoming, then we must understand that that dignity must be carried around. And especially what I've said, a woman is it's an object of power. And therefore, if power is misused, that is when you find these things where you say you are equal to a man. You can never be equal to a man, because even the structure is different. Yes? And submission, as it is said, it is not where you say that submission is weakness. It's not. In fact, submission is strength.
All right. And as we move forward, yes, I think you're ready.
Thank you so much. My name is Wangoi, and you just mentioned something that just caught my attention. I would like to ask, when you say that a woman is not equal to a man, are you referring to the different abilities they have, or that a man is up here and a woman is down here? Secondly, I would want to ask a question about the affirmative position that was offered to the women. And I hear that it is going to be scrapped off, I think, in the next term of election. I want to ask your opinion on it. Do you feel like women have warmed up to politics and have taken up positions enough to now compete with men equally? Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Wangoi, for that particular question. I think I'll just throw it directed to you.
I think we are not talking about being equal to a man in such a way. The abilities in terms of if you can do engineering, a woman can do engineering. You can be a mechanic, he can be a mechanic. You can do he can do driving, you can do driving. You can own cars, he can use houses and all that. That's a very different way, because if that is what we are talking about, equity and equality, I think we are losing it. What we are saying here is this: a man is made to be a man. A woman is made to be a woman. They can never be equal. in terms of, you know, just taking and translating a man to be a woman or translating a woman to be a man. But what you do is you take care of what God has given you, the talents that you have, the giftings that are in you, the vision that you have. And that is what makes the difference. Because even if I was to tell you, you become a man today, or they told me I become Regathi today, my giftings are very different from Regathi's giftings. And therefore, I function within my element, he functions within his, and when we bring it together, it becomes wholesome, and it is able now to help me and help him, help the family, help the community, and help the nation. Otherwise, if we are all doing the same thing, surely even the world will be very ugly, actually, and it will be very boring. So what I'm not talking about where this and this. And when it comes also to registration, I don't think we need to deregister what we already have. What we need is to start working consistently, changing and transforming, so that when the men are coming, we don't want again the girl to go down and the men to be up. That imbalance will still bring us challenges. So what we need is to take both and treat them in an equal way. Let them have education access. Let them have all manner of things in equal measure. That is what I would call equality and equity.
All right. I hope you're satisfied with Her Excellency's answer. And before we get into, I see so many hands, let's start from here. We finish with these people on the front.
Okay. Thank you very much. So my name is Nimrod Aberi. I'm a law student at the University of Nairobi and a mental health advocate, having an organization as the CEO and founder called Comments Initiative. So I'm going to try to make it short and sweet. For such a tall and handsome bouncing baby boy, it's quite hard. Anyway, so my first question is, okay, first of all, let me comment on the assumption of male empowerment. Because since during the ages, those periods when we had men occupying most of the spaces, then it was assumed then that the women are not empowered, which was true. But now, when we started empowering the girls, we assume that the empowerment is still there. Even for a boy who's born today, he is empowered because during those age, during that period, there was the general male empowerment. Now to my question, which I'm going to direct to the councillor. We in this transactional world, okay, in a capitalistic world, it has become very transactional, to a point that it is only money that determines whether you are successful or not most of the time. That's why you find the only thing that a man does in a home is bringing finances, buying things, or catering for most of the finances. That's why you find when study shows, or if I'm wrong, you'll correct me, that women tend to move away from marriage. If a woman gets very comfortable financially and economically empowered, they tend to be independent. But when a man gets economically empowered and financially capable, they tend to look for a family. That's why they say, wacha nijijenge sahi, women will come. And that's where we get it wrong. Because even the woman that comes, then she now eyes for the money. Now, and other men actually are now shying away from marriage because they feel like they'll not get genuine women. So what is your view and take on that, and how do you see we can get to change that aspect and mentality that is really ailing the social space between men and women? Thank you.
All right, interesting, Ziwa, the aspect of transactional relationships.
Thank you. I think you're tall and handsome, but I defy you're tall and dark and handsome.
TDH.
Yeah, I liked his construct of thought, but to be clear and categorical, it's good to note that money is not the problem. Money only amplifies character. The way you view the money, it is important how you're going to sustainably carry the attitude that you carry with that money. Because to men, many of the men, I would speak as an observer, it gives us dominance. And today's age, when a woman has the same volume of money, it gives her independence. So to the other, who you are talking about, they have a dominance to domineer and rule over their family and rule over their territory. And of time, if the man has a bad attitude with money, there are other things that come in with that dominance. And if a woman is in that equation, she can only pray, if I can only get my money. She is seeking independence from that kind of dominance. So I think there's a need for us to change our cultural construct about money, because money amplifies character. If you're a mean and selfish man, it doesn't matter how much volume of money you make, you'll be mean and selfish. If you're abundantly generous and caring and compassionate, money will amplify that about you. The same is true with the women. The same volume of money that you change will not cause you to seek to be independent of your spouse or the people you're working closely in concert with, whether it's family or organization. You seek actually to be complementary of that organizational structure. So I think one of the things we need to change deeply is the way we think about money. The values that drive us when we have money. If you have the wrong values, technically it will drive you the wrong direction. But if you have it correct, the way you view the money with the right values, it's a great resource to have. Money is good when you have the right values and have the right attitude.
All right. We have a hand here, and then we can have the lady there at the very end. Yes?
Okay, thank you so much. My name is Elijah Apareng, proponent of a boy child and a girl child. I'm from West Pokot County. There is a lot of or numerous organizations who are actually dedicating their time to ensure that girls and boy child are uplifting. But there is this narrative in my community that girl child is a source of wealth. So they have no right to go to school. Why do I mean this? Girl child, when they want to marry by someone, they will bring a lot of dowry, like 50 cows and maybe 30 goats. So how can the organization, the Dorcas Foundation, can re-engineer that narrative? Thank you.
All right, Your Excellency.
I agree, and my son knows very well. There are some communities where the girl child is really pressed down, and I think the culture and the social structures do not give the opportunity for the girl to grow and to mature to her dreams and to be free. And as he's asking, maybe I'll take your contact and we see how we can be able to work, because I told you I'll work from the male perspective. Because I believe that when we speak to the men and tell them that women are assets, but they are not properties, okay? Because even if you are to get 100 cows, and that the woman and it's your daughter, it's somebody's daughter, it's somebody's child, you can't just put them on the level of merchandise. And so we must change that, and I believe that it is many organizations are trying to work on it, but it's never enough until we have changed that, and it needs to be changed. I remember one of the girls that I've taken to a good school. I went somewhere when I was in office, and there's this girl who came, and she was dancing and she was singing. I didn't understand her language, but I could tell she was communicating something. She's called Selena. And I asked somebody, can you interpret what she's saying? She said, you know, the girl needs a pencil, she needs a book, and she needs to go to school, and she needs to do this. And I could tell she was communicating the message to me. So I said, okay, let's give, and she'll come back and help the society.
Abilities. And genuinely love people.
All right.
Believe me, you provoke people to do things that will never dream possible, because you value them, you believe in them, and you unconditionally love them.
All right, the call to action, finally, love everybody. Love, 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 love. Thank you so much for being a part of this particular conversation. Thank you, Your Excellency, Pastor Dorcas Rigathi, for welcoming us again at the Dorcas Rigathi Foundation. We do appreciate you for that. And thank you, Richard Ziwa Zimbalist, our able counselor, for always being here for this particular conversation. Thank you so much for our audience as well for being here and for your contributions to this conversation. See you some other time. We wind it up at that. My name is Anne Odida. Good morning.